Hi, guys. Jeff here from Daily Dose of Jeff, and welcome to my fourth podcast. I got a message out there to the parents of Luigi Mangione. All right, so you guys all know the case now if you don't go Google it, but, you know, I'm just absolutely blown away by this case. All right, guys, think about what is going on. Now, yeah, I got a message to the parents, but, parents, I don't know you. I understand that. And I don't know all the particulars. But if your son can go into New York City by himself and carry out a heinous act like this. Okay, now, we know if you listen to my other podcast, Mangione has screws in his back. He's in pain. He's in a lot of pain. Some psychologists are out there saying, this type of pain can create homicidal thoughts. All right, but if you're the parents, do you see any of this coming? I mean, I don't understand how this gets to this point where a 26-year-old kid, because this is very childish behavior, how does it get to the point where a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate with a master's degree is going to throw his life away to kill someone? He doesn't appear psychotic. He has no criminal history. He's not a lunatic. He's not somebody in and out of psychiatric hospitals. This seems like an everyday kid like you and me, except upscale kid. Okay, he's got more money than you and me and all that stuff, and Ivy League school, this and that. But parents, don't you see this coming? Seriously. You had no idea. There's nothing you could say or do, talk to the kid. What about his friends? Not just the parents. I really would love to talk to the parents. What did you ever see this coming, parents? Were there signs? How about his friends, his best friends? The police should be talking to them. Would you consider them accomplices in this? His best friends have discussed this with him. He probably was sitting there with his buddies, his college buddies, and said, you know what, I had enough. I'm going to kill that, blank, blank, blank. And they probably said, oh, come on, you're not going to do it. He's like, you know what, I'm going to do it. See, I honestly think that Mangione believed that he was going to get away with it. It seemed like he had it all mapped out. From the buses to the backpack, the electric bike. It seemed like he had a great plan. His plan went wrong when the dope with big bushy eyebrows goes into McDonald's. I wouldn't have got off the bus. I would have said I'm sleeping. The dope puts a medical mask on, goes into McDonald's when the whole world's looking for this guy with big bushy eyebrows, and he covers up his face. When you go up to McDonald's, the whole world's looking for somebody, and you're covered up. Ski cap, medical mask. It's all over the news. Everybody's looking for this guy with big bushy eyebrows. He doesn't shave his eyebrows. How smart is he? You got to shave your eyebrows down and make a thin little strip so people don't see the big bushy eye. So, but besides all that, the parents and the friends, you're an accomplice if you knew about it and you didn't say anything. It's just so the friends, I'm interrogating them if I'm the police. But how does it escalate to this? How does it escalate to a guy with no criminal record? All right, so he's a spoiled brat. It obviously looks that way. A spoiled brat that just, he's angry. He probably got everything he ever asked for. He always probably got out of trouble from his parents. He always never got a punishment, this and that. How does it escalate to this? That he's going to get the BB brain idea in broad daylight to murder a man on the streets of New York. He's not from New York. To take buses, to plan this thing out, to get an electric bike, and the parents, somebody, come on, nobody knew this was coming. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe this? Come on. Somebody knew, but the parents. Not so much the parents are stopping what he did, but the parents raising this kid. You did a great job as far as getting him into college and, all that. He's a success. You had nursing homes. But didn't you see that you were raising a brat who thought he could get away with everything? Yeah, didn't you ever punish the kid? Didn't you, talk to the kid? Did you always let him get away with everything? Because that's what this is. This is parenting where Mangione got away with everything in his life, probably never got punished as a little boy, and he thought he could, he's going to get away with this, and he's not going to get punished. You grow up that way. And now look, but think about it, folks. How do you get the idea with no criminal history to shoot a man in his back with a 3D gun that jammed up on him, by the way? Take an electric bike, backpack filled with Monopoly money. All right, so you're in pain, Mangione. I understand. You're in pain. There's millions of cases out there of people malpractice or whatever in pain. But this is not how you handle it. Your life is now over. Unless somehow your lawyer gets you out. You listen to my last podcast. There is a possibility he could get no jail time if you listen to my last podcast. But for all intents and purposes, you're probably going to go to jail for the rest of your life. I don't understand it. So the parents out there, for the parents, I'm speaking to the people out there that have little boys and girls. If you do not discipline and punish your child when they do something wrong, you are doing them an injustice. Because they're going to grow up like Luigi Mangione. And they're going to think they can do whatever they want. They've gotten away with everything growing up. And now when they get a BB brain idea, they're going to think they're invincible because of the way you raise them. So parents hearing this message to you, discipline your kids. Every little thing they do wrong, you make sure they somehow are disciplined for it. Don't be passive and just let it go. Then let it go, and a repeat. I grew up in a rough setting, and I remember my next door neighbor, this little boy who always got away with everything. And he, the one time he gave his sister a black eye. The whole gang that we were, bunch of us saw the sister who was, I don't know, 7 years old. She comes the next day with this big black eye. And the kid grew up, just like Mangione. Never disciplined as a kid. And gave his sister a black eye. Didn't get disciplined. And, he was the guy we were all scared of growing up, that type of thing. So parents out there, it's up to you. It's up to you to fix this problem from the beginning of their lives to make sure they always get disciplined when they do something wrong so you can avoid this situation, because I could imagine the family is an absolute mess right now. Think about the mother, father, grandparents, aunts, uncles. All of them are probably in some way getting either harassed. Now, I know there's a lot of dopes out there that are celebrating, and that's horrible. I understand you're mad at the health care system. We all are. You don't celebrate a man getting murdered. And I don't think the people out there are actually celebrating the murder as they are that somebody did something to the health care system. All right. I don't want to get into that. But we want to avoid this, parents. So my message out there to the parents of Luigi, this goes back to you now I don't know the situation, but I'm surmising here that you didn't discipline him and enough, or not at all, and he got away with everything. Because a boy that got disciplined growing up constantly, he would not have done something like this, most likely. So that the parents out there, discipline your kids now while they're young. Before they grow up, it's going to be too late when they grow up. If they do something bad, now I'm not talking about hitting your kids. I'm not about that. I don't think a parent should hit their children. And the reason is because if you can control yourself, most parents can't, because most parents are angry when they are about to hit their kids, and you don't want to hit your kids out of anger. If you're going to hit them, you hit them out of discipline and love, and it's very hard to think logically when you're steamed at something they did. So I'm just against the hitting thing. There's other ways to discipline your kids. Just the point is that you make sure when they do something wrong that they get a little punishment every single time, that they don't get away with it. And because now look what it turned into. Okay? All right, thank you for listening, everybody. I'd love to hear your feedback and comments on what you think about this case, what you think about the parents of Luigi Mangione. I would love to know if you agree with me. Do you think he grew up a spoiled brat that got away with everything, and that carried over into him taking matters into his own hands because he's angry at his surgery, his back pain? Let me know if you agree with me, or am I way off base? Okay, thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next podcast.